Hey everyone, and welcome to our holiday video series. Unfortunately, this one is less about the twinkling lights and all the great things about the holidays, but it is incredibly important. For many of us, the holidays are the only time of year that we get to see some of our loved ones, especially if we live far apart. And sometimes during those visits, you might notice something with a parent, a grandparent, or another loved one that just seem a little off. Maybe they're repeating the same story over and over again. Maybe they can't remember the name of someone they've known forever. Or maybe they're just a little bit more disorganized than they used to be. It can be surprising and definitely a little bit scary. But here's the thing, these moments matter. They could be signs of cognitive decline, and catching them early is the key to having the best prognosis possible. So today we're going to talk about what to look for, how to bring it up if you do notice something without being awkward, and what steps you can take to move forward. All right, let's start with what to look for. Now, all of us have had this happen where we go into a room and we completely forgot why we came in there in the first place, or we just can't remember where we put our keys. I know this happens to me daily, but that's not what we're talking about here. There are certain things that can signal that there's something more serious going on. And here are a few examples. Memory lapses that affect daily life. So these are things like forgetting important conversations or appointments. Another is difficulty following a conversation, whether they're losing their train of thought or maybe they just are struggling to find the right words. Another one that a lot of people don't think about is a change in personality. Like they've suddenly become more withdrawn, confused, or irritable. It's very common when an individual starts to notice that they are having cognitive issues for them to withdraw and become quiet because they don't want anybody to notice. And the final one that I want to talk about is trouble managing tasks that they used to handle easily. So this can be things like paying the bills, cooking, or just keeping up with the house. So I had this happen to me personally in my family. So my great-grandmother, we called her Gannis, she made the best banana cream pie. And she'd make it every year for Thanksgiving. And one year, everyone was so looking forward to it. Everybody had their plates. They began to take big spoonfuls. And as soon as people put it in their mouths, you could just see the look of disgust go around the table and everything came right back out. And the problem was that Gannis had mixed up the salt and the sugar. Now, despite Gannis having made this recipe for years and years and years and being famous for it, she somehow made such a big error. And Gannis was eventually diagnosed with dementia. Now, that doesn't mean that that's always going to be the case, but in this case, it was a big red flag for us. Not everything is going to be as obvious as Gannis's banana cream pie. It can be tricky and it can make you think that maybe you're overthinking it, or maybe they're just having an off day. But here's the key to remember. It's not just a little slip up. It's about patterns. It's when you begin to notice things happening consistently that you really need to start paying attention. Okay, so let's say that you are noticing these signs. You're me eating Gannis's banana cream pie. How do you bring these concerns up? This can be really uncomfortable. Like nobody wants to make somebody feel uncomfortable or defensive because you're just not gonna get anywhere. But you have to have the conversation because it's that important. And so let me give you some tips to help it go a little bit more smoothly. The first is to choose the right moment. Don't call them out at the dinner table in front of everyone. Find some quiet time where you can talk to them one-on-one. Second is to make it as obvious as possible that you're coming from a place of love. Of course, that's what you're doing, but we need to make this really obvious to the person that you're talking to. So instead of saying, you're acting strange, what's going on? Try something like, I've noticed that you've been a little forgetful lately. Is everything okay? Because you don't want them to think that you're coming at them, accusing them of having dementia or a memory issue. If you're just asking if everything's okay, it allows them to open themselves up to a lot of other possibilities for what could be causing the things that you're noticing, and it'll help lower their defenses. Third is to focus on your specific observations, because having specific examples makes having the conversation a lot easier, especially if someone is beginning to suffer from early stages of dementia. but you need to be gentle about it also. So for example, you can say something like, I noticed that you were a little bit confused about where the car was parked earlier. Is that something that happens a lot? And here's the most important thing to remember. Your goal is not to diagnose them. You're just opening the door for a conversation and encouraging them to look further into it. Now, let's talk about what to do next. If you notice some signs, there are a few things that you can do. First and foremost is to encourage them to visit a doctor. Even a primary care doctor can do a simple memory screening that will give them the initial data that they need to know whether or not they should take this further. You can even offer to help schedule the appointment with them or go with them for support. Again, it's very important to let them know that any issues that they're experiencing don't necessarily mean that they have dementia. There are a lot of possible causes, and you just want to get to the bottom of it. And the sooner you find out what's going on, the better it will be for everyone. Second, make sure that you're involving other family members. And I don't mean that you guys are just rushing them and overwhelming them with everybody coming at them. What I mean is that you guys are all on the same team and everybody is really working together to this goal of understanding what's going on and if anything needs to be done about it. Third is to understand more about these common age-related cognitive decline diseases like dementia. The more you know about it, the better educated you are and the better able you will be to help anyone in your family that might end up with one of these conditions. I know this is a really tough subject to face, especially in the holidays when all you want to do is enjoy your time together. But there is a really great silver lining to this, and that is picking up on things earlier really improves the prognosis. Early action leads to better outcomes, more time together, and more meaningful moments. Okay. That's it for today. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like and subscribe or to share it with anyone that you might know that might benefit from it. And be sure to stay tuned to keep up with our holiday video series and all the other great brain health videos that we post. Again, thanks so much for watching and have a great holiday season. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. And again, happy holidays.